All right, build a referral machine. So today we're gonna go over just seven strategies just to build a referral based business. And I think this is super important. And I think that if we were to look at a lot of agents' business, at least our top performing agents, like this is some of the things that they're focusing on. And this is some of those things that can absolutely just build a huge business. And I think that most of us, this is what we want. We just want the leads to come in, the business to roll through us, and to be lead receivers instead of lead generators. But we got to do a little bit of work on the front end. So to kick this thing off, let's talk about some things with the six personal perspectives. And the first one is just being learning based. And I obviously everyone that's on this call, you're a learning based individual, right? This is someone that is making the learning the foundation of growth, both in life and business. And so we've left a speed-based market that we were in 2020 and 2021, and this is a skills-based market. This is a market where we are truly going through and having to be some of the most educated agents that we can absolutely be so that we can help our people win. And so when we think about being a learning based individual inside of the foundation of our business, we have our four levels of competency. We have our unconscious incompetence, right? Like we don't know what we don't know. Then we go through our conscious incompetence, and it's like, okay, well, now we know what we don't know. And that's where the magic starts to happen because now we can actually start to fix some things. Then we go to conscious competence to where we actually can focus on what we can do and start building. And then we have unconscious competence where it's just natural, right? To where we're coming through and it is just second nature. And so a lot of us, we start in this level one. And when we get to level two, again, that's where the fun starts to happen because then we can actually start moving in the right direction. So as we're going through and we're looking at this as real estate agents, we know that 20% of our results are driven by 80% of the stuff that we're doing, or vice versa. It's 80% of the stuff that we're doing is leading to 20% of our results. And so as we're looking at this is what we know. We know lead generation is the business, right? We are supposed to be lead generators, and the more business and the more people that we are in front of, the bigger our businesses will be. So as we're talking about this is why it matters when we're talking about referrals, because that's what the point of the conversation is today. When we become learning based, we have consistency and we're going to continue to build systems. We will master our conversations. We're going to execute our plans, and we're going to turn these random contacts that we have, right? We all have a database. Most of them live in here, and we are going to turn this into a referral machine that's going to just thrive in any market that we're in. And here's the thing, guys, we're not in an awesome market, right? And self-reflect on your own businesses right now. There's some people that are crushing it, and there's some people that aren't crushing it right now. But yeah, this is what I know, that this market is a little bit harder, and it's harder because of the interest rates. It's harder because of the cost of money. And it doesn't mean that people aren't buying and selling. It's just not what it was back in 2020 or 2019 or 18 or 17, right? It has gotten a little bit harder. But this is what I do know. If we start planting the seeds right now and we start getting some momentum going, your businesses are going to be gangbusters here when the interest rates start to come down. So let's jump into this thing. Your first one, guys, let's create a digital farm. All right. So when we're talking about this digital farm, we know top agents win with referrals. Referrals are higher trust, faster closings, and better clients. If people are referring you business, then you already got a gold star, right? That gold star is that, hey, this is my referral partner. You are in good hands. Like it just naturally makes it easier for you. So when we're thinking about this digital farm, do you have a curated email list of agents outside your area? And you get to pick what outside your area is. Like I know there's some of you that are willing to go down to Fort Collins or up to Fort Collins, down to Colorado Springs. Maybe you're willing to go into Pueblo. Like, what does that look like for you as an agent? Are you doing things to where you are figuring out the agents and curating this digital farm. This could be agents that you met out somewhere, right? Well, we have family reunion, we have other events that we're going to. It could be mega camp, at least inside of our KW world. You could be going to Inman Connect. You could be going to any of these summits. What are you doing to connect with other agents? And I can tell you guys, we've heard multiple success stories where you meet an agent in XYZ, and then later down the road, they're actually referring business back your way. Social media connections, guys. Here's the deal, right? There's tons of places where we can go and we can create these connections with agents that are outside of our ecosystems through social media. We have Instagram, we have Facebook, we have TikTok, we have X, we have so many different platforms where we can actually create more opportunities for ourselves through these relationships, guys. And here's the deal, like all these people, we can actually find them. You guys want a place to go to Lab Coat Agents. There's Lab Coat Agents, which is a large, very large social media group on Facebook that's just real estate agents. Now, here's the deal. It can be distracting. Like, definitely don't set up notifications in this area. But what you could do, and while this isn't a part of the slide deck, they also have lab coat agent referrals. And so you guys can go log into Lab Coat Agents referrals, and then someone could throw out Arvada, Westminster, Denver, insert whatever here, and you could jump on that referral and get that relationship with that person and try to take over that business. We can go through, we can do stuff with agents that we worked with before, right? Like there's all kinds of different things that could happen. Maybe there's an agent from a different city, right? Again, I mentioned Fort Collins, I mentioned Colorado Springs, that maybe you don't have any desire to go down there, but they've obviously come up here for a deal or down here for a deal, depending on which way they were coming from. But you could go through and what does it look like to keep that person in your database just to be putting on your email list. Guys, this is big. Like when we're going through, we should absolutely have a database of real estate agents. And we should be very strategic as we're going through to market to them, right? Especially if they're out of our area. There's all kinds of things that are happening. And I took some screenshots and we'll show you here. But like when we're going through, how can we get in front of these people? We can send these monthly. What's neat about this is we're talking about real estate agents. So you can actually send like, here's a script that I've been using that I've been having some success with. Here's some marketing strategies that I've been actually having fun with. Here's an email template. Like, guys, you know how you build these relationships? You just send them tools and resources for free, right? Iron sharpens iron. And you guys can actually, this is probably the easiest email list that you could actually set up and just like curate content and fire off their way because it's stuff that you're already looking at and checking out, and you send it to them. Plus, you get to sprinkle it off, right? You get to sprinkle off some things that are coming in here, and you can say, like, also, here's some cool things that are happening in our area for any of your clients that are interested in. And then here's your sign off, right? You're like, this is your friend in Arvada. Thanks in advance for keeping me in mind if someone's moving to my area, right? And we stay consistent. We just keep pushing out value, and we ask them to forward your email and refer you. And so, like, here's one that I get, right? And this is like, welcome to our Cactus Chronicles. And you guys might get this exact same email. And it is from these agents. I think this is from Arizona. This is one of the many that I get. And so it goes through, and these agents are going, they're talking about Arizona. They're talking about the houses that they have. They're doing these different things, and they're just sprinkling in information. This one came from March of 2024, but they're going through and they're just curating it, cleaning it up, and then they're just getting to a point to where hoping that I have someone that's landing in Arizona that I can fire off their way. Your strategy number 2 is, guys, do you have your MVP list? Right? We talk about this inside of our ecosystem to where we have some other people in our world that we need to be loving on more than others. And when we're thinking about this, like, who are those people that you know will refer you business if someone mentions real estate? Like, you know that you are their go-to agent. And this list could be a 25-person list, a 50-person list, a 100-person list. Like these are your high potential referral people, right? So when we're going through and we're looking at our database, we have our database, right? I told you, like most of our stuff, guys, it's this, right? This is a mess. It is like we're going through everyone's just in here. There's no differentiators. It's all the same. But what I'm challenging you guys to do is the first slide is put some agents together. Let's get an agent list. I get it. It's a little bit more extra work, and we're gonna go through and we're gonna curate it and fire that off. And then who are the other people that you're gonna send more love to? Right? Like these are the people where our MVPs, like we're not just checking in with these people. Yeah, they're probably going to get an email from us with the rest, but these are also the people that maybe I'm going to Top Golf and I'm going to send them the invite. Maybe I'm going to show up to Second Saturday here in Arvada this week. And hey, I'm going to be in Arvada and would love to see you for Second Saturday. Right? Like this is the thing, guys. I think we get to the point where we're like, oh, well, I'm a real estate agent. How do I get to this where I am providing them real estate services and I'm getting worn out? Find local events, everyone. Like we got Second Saturday that's coming up, and I think what I read, there's like 45 different whiskey distributors or something that are coming, and invite someone to that. And you don't have to pay for it. You're just going through and they can meet you and just fire it off to everyone. Here's the deal. Not everyone's going to say yes. And would it be the worst thing in the world if 5, 6, 7 people joined you? No, absolutely not. We have the beer garden that just joined or that just popped up. What would it look like? Hey, just saw this beer garden just popped up in Arvada. Want to know if you wanted to go check it out with me? Send that off. 5, 6, 7 different people. Again, like who cares what this looks like? If you had a big group of people, like you were the connector. This is what's neat about this thing is firstly, you're just inviting them to something that's new in the area, that's an experience, both those things, right? The brand new beer garden. Second Saturday is only for a couple months out of every year, which is a 1-day event every month. And it's a new event this go around. And so you're just inviting them and you're the conduit and a bunch of people get together. Like you're the rock star here and you don't have to pay for it, right? We're going through, we're making sure that we're watching things that people put on social media. Like, hey, congratulations. I saw that this happened in your world. That is awesome. Comments on their social media. Here's the thing. Don't just throw the like, right? Go through and put meaningful stuff on there, right? Like, hey, this is awesome, right? And then insert whatever here. If it's big enough, right? Don't we slide into their DMs, right? We're sliding into their DMs in a professional way, right? Where we're going through and we're saying like, hey, I saw this post. I thought this was super cool that you did this. What was your favorite part about that trip? Right. And we're just going through and we're getting into these conversations. How do you get into the conversation if we haven't spoken or seen them in a while? Here's the deal, guys. That's all of us, right? We have people that we fell out of relationship with. And when we're going through and we just want to be human, like we can do it a couple different ways. Like, hey, I know it's been some time since we last connected, but I just want to see how everything's going in your world. And guys, while that might feel uncomfortable for you, it's not uncomfortable getting that message. It's not. Because here's the deal. Let's just pretend worst case scenario, that they're offended that you sent them a, hey, I'm sorry that I've been a sucky friend. How's everything going in your world? And they're super offended that you sent that. What's the worst case scenario? They don't respond. Like, and here's the deal. That's very real. I can tell you guys this is a true story. I get a text message from one of previous agents that I still have a very good relationship with. I'm going to tell you the story, and you're like, Charles, you don't have a very good relationship with this person, but I do. And they send me a text message, and I said, hey, I got a lot of stuff going on in my world right now. Would it be okay if in like a week or two I get back to you? And they said, yes, absolutely. This is via text message. Like a month or two goes by, I think, and I'm telling this story inside of a training that we're having with the productivity coaching clients. And I said, and here's the deal. I just need to call this person. I've let some time go by, and all I need to do is get back into relationship with them. I kid you not, this was back in February. And I literally just reached back out to that person this week. And I said, hey, dude, firstly, I super suck. And again, this is my text. I'm not kidding you. Firstly, I super suck. Secondly, when would be a good time next week to connect? I got this day and this day available. And he said, hey man, no big deal. Let's meet this day. Because here's the thing, guys, like we fall out of relationship with people, and all it is a simple reaching back out to get in a relationship with them, guys. Like we're the ones making it weird, not the receiver. And so I don't know if that necessarily answered your question, but I would say this, like blind faith, just jump into it. Hey, I know it's been some time. Guys, here's the deal. Like the goal is just to stay top of mind. We don't care what the outcome is, which I think that was a super timely question that you threw out. Like, we don't care what the outcome is. We just want them to be thinking about us when it makes sense to be thinking about us. If we're authentic, we're building goodwill, we're being present in their lives whenever we can. Like, guys, you will win. I promise you this. We cannot be attached to the outcome. I think that's where a lot of us are. Like, none of us want to be rejected. None of us. Rejection is zero fun. But I think at the end of the day, if there's someone that you have in your circle and you actually care about them and you really did want to reach back out to them and hang out with them, they probably like you too. There's not a whole lot of one-way relationships where you're like, this person really likes me, but I hate them. Right? Like we don't really have that in our worlds. And so I would say just like fail forward and just don't be attached to the outcome. Just keep sending messages until they either say, you know what, hey, actually, I really just don't want to be your friend anymore, and then we could stop. But I don't think anyone's going to do that to you guys. So the whole goal of this is less when they think about real estate, they think about us. We need to be in emotional proximity to people when they're thinking about transacting business. And I would challenge you guys all. There's all kinds of cool things happening right now. We're in the summer months. Just invite people to things. And this is how I would kind of go through. And I'm thinking about this referral, right? Like I'm probably tagging them. I got my A plus. Like these people have actually sent me multiple referrals. I better not forget these people ever. Like these people, I need to be inviting to my monthly potluck. Or I have this great relationship with a wealth planner or a CPA, and they're willing to get in front of my people. Like I'm inviting them to this event. Your A's are your people that are most likely to refer you, right? And here's the deal, guys. Like I've actually heard people go through and they've removed their family members from this A list and moved them all the way down because they thought their family would refer them, but their family doesn't, right? So here's the deal. Like your A's, these are the people you're actually loving on at a big level, right? Your B's, people that would refer you if you showed them how to do it, right? So we're going through and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But your C's are your people that might refer you at some point. Your O's, right? These are people that, they're just online leads, right? We don't know who these people maybe are. They came into our ecosystem. They might be on a drip campaign. They might be getting the MLS search from us, but like we don't really know them. Put them as an O. And then your D's are people that are probably going to be deleted by the end of the year, right? These are people that are just in your database. They're just floating around. Like you haven't done anything with them. Get rid of them. Here's the thing, guys. I've had those databases where I've gone through and I've farmed online leads from Facebook before, and I would get hundreds a month. I kid you not, hundreds a month. And there's going to be some that don't answer. And if you've really put in the time and effort to connect to them and they're not, get rid of them. They're not magically one day going to be like, thank God, thank you for reaching out to me every month for 4 years. I'm finally ready to buy. It's probably not going to happen. If they're not responding, move them, delete them. Guys, build a relationship with former agents. I think this one's interesting. I think this one's definitely overlooked, right? So where I think this could go either way. The first way I put it on here, the only way I put it on here was really like if someone's getting out of the business or maybe just going part-time, like super part-time to where they're keeping their license because they put in the effort, but they're not going to do anything with it. How can we create some passive income for them? There's these people out there that they have their real estate license and they're just kind of sunsetting out, right? They're just going to go off into the sunset, right? We talk about this. Real estate agents don't retire. We actually go to their funeral before their retirement party. And I know that sounds kind of dark, but that's just how it is, right? Most real estate agents do not just like retire one day. And so how can we either transition their business and create some passive income for them? Or how can we just take it over? Here's the deal. What we do know is this: 87% of real estate agents that get into business will be out within 3 years. But there's some people that have put in the work, but this is what happens. They overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 3. And that's very real. And so if there is someone that's getting out of the business, like, and they've put in the work and they've built up their database, like, what can we do to help them? Right. So, like, what are we doing to go through and to make sure that if they've done anything to build their business up, was there any opportunity to take on that business if they were to get out of the business? I did this and they provided me with the names of vendors, inspectors, stagers. Yeah, absolutely. Like, here's the thing, guys, that's all we are doing. And so also what's going to happen is this, they're getting out of the business. Someone finally, and what we see is this, we see one of two things happen. I'm telling you guys this as the team leader of the brokerage, one of two things happens. Someone has done the work and then they grossly underestimated what they could do in 3, but they overestimated in 1. They let their license go expired. And then what happens is they either reactivate their license, which is few and far between. They reactivate their license for this one deal, or they reach out and they say, hey, I got this. Can you help me? So what would it look if you guys were to just to like find out the agents that are getting out of the business, put them in your database, and what is your touch plan for these people? Because even if they're going through, they're going to say, well, hey, I actually got out of the business, but I have a great buddy that's in it. Can I connect you? And if you're pouring into these people, that's rock and roll, guys. Like, this thing happens. I can tell you this is a real strategy that works. You guys would be shocked with like how many agents leave the business and then they're reaching out to say, hey, can you guys help me buy or sell a house? Or I've even had real estate students that I've actually gone through and had conversations with, have taught. They never went through and got their license, and then they reach out and say, hey, can you help me?
Hey, Charles,
Yes.
I have a quick question. Where it says show them how to keep their license active for referrals only, does that
Yeah.
look different from someone who is fully active? I mean, what does that really mean?
Yeah, what that really means is there's brokerages out there, right? And so you guys are at a brokerage that is an interdependent model, right? The interdependent model means you have a business, the brokerage is here to support you, and we're not the cheapest, we're not the most expensive. And so I'm going to put that there. And then there's brokerages out there where they don't pay anything but like $25 a month. If they don't do a deal, they're just paying $25 a month. I would just like, hey, have you heard about this brokerage? If you were just to hang your license there, and if you're providing me leads and you're paying $25 a month, when I close a deal for you, because I know that you're going to go get a job, when I close that deal for you, I'll send you over a 30% referral fee. So they paid their $25 and then they're getting a 30% referral fee from you for just keeping their license active at a very cheap brokerage.
Got it.
Um, yeah, no problem. So that's kind of what that looks like. So that's that passive income that you could be doing it that way. And then we're just going through, but I do like the how do I go through and find the agents that are completely just going to sunset and get out? Because again, guys, what you're going to see is these people have done the work. They've done the work, they've had the conversations, they've done the stuff, but then they thought the business was going to roll in year 1 and they were on the cusp of it just all starting to landslide. They get out, and then year 2, their buddy says, I'm actually ready to buy. Can you help me? And they're like, well, actually, I just got out of the business, but I have a great real estate partner. And then we figure out what we need to do from there. Guys, the other one is, right, let's post with purpose, right? Like, what do our social media posts look like, right? Where are we going through on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, on X, on insert whatever here, YouTube? Don't sleep on YouTube, guys. I'm telling you right now, don't sleep on YouTube. And when we're going through, because they all have reels, they all have vertical videos where it's a 60-second video that you can do, and it can be less, and it can be a little bit more depending on the platform. But don't just post the closing. You guys heard me talk some trash the other day about this. But like, how can we share some help? And just like this video over here, this is a video. I don't have it playing right now. It's just a screenshot. But this is the video of a guy that's saying, hey, you want to see what $500,000 buys you in Colorado, in Highlands Ranch? And he goes through and he's just showing them the property. Here's the deal, guys. What's neat about this strategy is that Google has changed its platform. This is Instagram that I Googled and it pulled up this Instagram post. So I literally typed in real estate Colorado help, and this was a video that popped up. And so while we're talking about how you can build a big business from sphere of influence, and yes, you absolutely can, but why wouldn't we try to get the other opportunities? Why wouldn't we try to provide as much value? Because here's the deal. I saw something the other day, and I was telling you guys about this on Tuesday, that I read an article that says people pick this thing up 150 times a day. 150 times a day is what the average person is picking up their cell phone. And most of it is not constructive, right? It's going through and it's scrolling social media. So why wouldn't we want our face popping up saying, hey, we're the real estate economists of choice, helping people in Colorado buy, sell, invest in real estate. And here's some tips I have for you if you ever need a tip down the road. And they go through and they see you, and they might not be ready to buy now, but they're seeing you, and you're planting the seed, and you're planting the seed, and you're planting the seed. And finally that seed will grow and it's time to harvest, right? Like this is very real. And so we could do buyer needs even. I like the buyer need post. Hey, I have a buyer looking for a specific home in Arvada. They're looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. I'm not having any luck on the MLS. If you know anybody that's looking to sell, if you wouldn't mind connecting me or DMing me, I'd super appreciate it. Guys, think about that. You're just putting it out there like, I'm working with buyers. I have a very specific need. You've been thinking about selling your house. I have a buyer for you. Sneak peeks of upcoming listings. Guys, I like all of this stuff because here's the deal. Firstly, people are on social media, they're scrolling, doomsday scrolling. Also, what's happening is Google. People are Googling specific stuff. A lot of people's home search starts online first. We do know that we have more people getting pre-qualified for mortgages right now. Our purchase mortgage application data is way higher than it was this time last year. And so people are going to the lenders and then they're starting online, not even reaching out to an agent. They just want to know, how much can I qualify for? And they're in the dark, right? They're at home, they're searching. Now we know that social media is being picked up by Google, the #1 search engine in the world. Why wouldn't we put content on there? So when people are Googling best places to live in Arvada, best school districts in Denver, to why wouldn't we have the content up there to where they would trip over us? And then we have more and more and more content. Guys, I'm telling you, it's picking up TikTok, it's picking up Meta, it's picking up YouTube, obviously, because Google owns YouTube. So if you're creating shorts, and guess what? Put it on all 3 platforms. Create it once, put it in all 3, change the verbiage up a little bit, and just throw it out there. Guys, that's how you stay in front of people. And obviously tag your friends, right? You guys can see this. Like Bob does this all the time. Like Bob does something and he tags like 100 people. Not necessarily 100, but like that's what it goes. And this is just the law of reciprocity, right? Like people want to help people. So why wouldn't we just create content and look, this is what I have going on. This is what's going on. This is my steps here, my tips. What would it look like to go through and just go, we just heard that, hey, I just got this whole list of inspectors, stagers, lenders. What would it look like to go call that inspector? Hey, so-and-so referred you. They said that you were awesome. They got out of the business, but they said I should know you. Go meet them for coffee, go do whatever. And then say, well, hey, I was actually thinking about doing some stuff where I'm becoming the local expert and wanted to see what it would look like for you and I to go maybe to a new build as an inspector. And why don't we talk about some of the things that is a good reason to have an inspector go through the new build process? And like, we're not going to call out the new build that we're at, but what would it look like for the inspector to call out 3 things in a brand new home and why it's important to have a real estate agent and an inspector go through this process with you? And then you tag the inspector. So now you're getting in front of all their people. You're on there. So your inspector's getting in front of them. Law of reciprocity. And now you're casting a bigger net out there and you're pouring into their cup, right? And they're going to remember that. And when they get a lead, they're going to think of you. Guys, this is some big stuff. Like this is how these referrals work. Then we got the feeder markets. So guys, there are cities across the United States where people are tired of their cities and they're moving to Colorado. For the most part, right? There's California, this is New York, right? We're seeing some stuff from Texas right now. And so we're seeing some different areas where some people are coming through. So let's identify these places. Let's go through and what would it look like to go research these people. And again, this is the agent referral thing all over again, but this is actually being a little bit more specific. So instead of sending out this bigger net, why don't we just focus on like the top 20 agents in the area? We got to figure those top 20 agents are doing some business. Why don't we get in front of them? And so what we could do is maybe we send them a handwritten note, right? Let's break the noise. Let's do a handwritten note to start. Instead of putting them on the email list, which we will, hey, I saw that you were one of the top agents in the area. Want to congratulate you. You're crushing it. Super proud of everything that you're doing. I know that you deal with a lot of agents or a lot of clients in this area, and I do know that this area has a lot of people moving to my area and would love to see how we can work together. Right. And then obviously, we love paying referral fees to people moving into the Denver metro, right? To where we're going through and we're doing this. We're going to build the relationships. With that being said, guys, you have access to this. This is in command. Check this out. I just went into command and I said, what's the referral map look like for people moving into Colorado? Like who's sending referrals? Well, it's coming out of Arizona. Look, Arizona owns one, two, three, four of the top four spots. Then I guess a lot of people are getting cold in Alaska. They're moving into Colorado. Arizona again. For some reason, Denver's referring Denver, which really weirds me out, but I almost think that this is the referral agent again, that they're kind of sunsetting their business and they're referring business in Georgia, Nevada, Georgia, Texas, Westminster, again, kind of odd. San Diego, Pueblo, get that. So guys, what would it look like to go into command? Because you all have access to this. Figure out, go into those areas. What I would do is I would go and find out who's selling houses in those areas. I'm not going to do the buy side. I don't care about the buy side. Who's selling houses? Because that tells me that they're getting rid of their house. I don't know where they're moving. They could be moving into that same area, but let's roll the dice and check it out. And so, what would it look like to go into those cities, find the top 10 to 20 agents? And you can do this. This is all accessible through command. It will tell you, you can search by sell side, top agents. You can sort it by not a team. You can sort it by price point. You can do whatever you would want. And then pull their information, also all in command, and send out these letters to start. Then put them on the email campaign. Guys, we talk about golden letters. We've seen some success with golden letters. Why wouldn't we do it with people that are actually in the business, that are actually helping people buy and sell real estate, where we can look on this thing? And this is literally KW, because we share all of our information to every market center every month. This is what Elizabeth does, is she has to send out this information and put this out there and saying, hey, I see that you're doing a great job. I saw that you closed X amount of dollars, at least according to KW Command. You're crushing it. Hey, I don't know if you have anyone moving into the area. Would love to be your referral partner if you are. Then email campaign, set them up, send it off. Here's one of the deals, guys. And how are we setting up these referral stories? And so again, we talked about those clients that might not know how to give us a referral. We also have agents that are going to trip over stuff. We also have clients that are going to trip over some stuff. Like, how do we share this story on how to do it without calling everyone? Just be like, hey, just want to let you know I'm a real estate agent, and would love you to send me referrals. Now, I have heard of real estate agents that would go through and they send this handwritten note. At the handwritten note of just like, hey, hope everything's well in your world, been thinking about you. Hope everything's doing good. At the very end, they don't say, hey, who do you know that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? They say, hey, super appreciate you as a friend. And if you do come across anybody that's looking to buy or sell that mentions it to you, if you wouldn't mind thinking about me, I would super appreciate that. And so you kind of take it off of them as, hey, do you know there's anyone that's looking to buy or sell or looking to invest? Right? They're just saying, like, hey, if you're coming through and having a conversation with anyone and they happen to mention it, if you wouldn't mind thinking about me, I'd appreciate it. But we could also put this on social media, right? And so, like, how are we going through and building this reputation of, hey, I was talking to one of my referral partners in California the other day, and they said this is what's going on in their market. right? Like, check this out, guys. Like, you're just programming. Like, one of my referral partners, one of the agents that I do business with out in Chicago, Arizona, right? Arizona was obviously the winner. So obviously we want to plug Arizona. And again, like, it's going through and the algorithms are going to pull this together. They're going to push it out. Google's going to pull it in. And now you're just doing some programming. It shows them how easy the process is, right? Like, hey, one of my partners out here actually sent me a referral and this is what we did. Yeah, this is agents outside of Colorado. It could be Pueblo, right? Like, here's the deal. If you're not willing to drive down to Pueblo, I'm not. Hi, my name's Charles. There's a very small radius of where I'm willing to drive, and most of my business is like my commute to work's 5 minutes. And so when we're thinking about this, guys, you get to decide how far out this is your circle, right? But I would say outside, yeah, absolutely. And here's the deal: what would it look like that if you're engaging with one of these agents post on social media, and then you get to an offline conversation, and then you turn it into a let's be referral partners, and then you just plug that conversation in social media. Hey, I was talking to one of my referral partners. This is what they're seeing out in their area. What are you guys seeing? And then we're going to go through, and if someone does send you a referral, guys, what does this look like? Thank the agent publicly, right? Hey, want to thank my agent out in Chicago. If you need a great agent out there, this is who I recommend. I just got done helping one of their buyers here in Colorado, right? Share how you keep the updated. Like, hey guys, this is one of the things I do for all my referral partners. And you share it out there. Here's just a little quick snapshot, right? We're just constantly just telling this story over and over and over again. Here's what's cool. Put it on social media. And if you're doing the first thing where you've created that email list that you're actually emailing out referral partners, take that social media post and now you have more content for your email newsletter. Guys, like, this is all this is. Like, here's the deal. I think we get overwhelmed with like all these different things that we're doing, and we go to these classes and we're like building it up. But check this out. Once if we were to just grab different components and put them together, and then yes, we're still building more stuff, but we're just taking from other places that we built it and put it in. And then obviously tag. Again, let's cross-pollinate, right? To where we're going through. And it does say tag. And here's the thing, guys. I would also hit the collaboration button. I don't know if you guys have played with that, but the collaboration button's huge. So tag is what's interesting when you go into Instagram because it puts it on like a separate page. And there's like a tagged page. The collaboration button actually puts it on the main grid. So if they accept your collaborate, they don't have to accept a tag, but if they accept your collaboration button, it actually puts you on their main grid. And so now you're cross-pollinating even more. And I would do this with all my referral partners as well. So guys, like, we're actually going to show how we're delivering results. We're going to show like how easy it is to work with us. We're going to show how appreciative we are, right? Like, there's some funny things that go into this stuff. And so let's share the stories on social media, and we're going to just naturally create this referral magnet. And I do like this one. Guys, let's go bigger, right? Like, what would it look like to pay a 30% referral fee? Depending on the market, what would it look like to pay a 35% referral fee and just put it out there? Here's the deal. Yes, there's going to be some clients where you paying that kind of money, like, it's going to be a drain. It is, right? Like, it might not be fine. You're thinking about, okay, so I haven't capped yet, so I got to pay my brokerage split, plus I have to pay the referral fee. Like, and you could be calculating that. And you're like, that's not worth my time. And that's perfectly okay. Perfectly okay. But yet, what happens when you do cap and that agent now has a 30% referral fee or that agent has another referral and you passed on it the first time? So what would it look like? Let's start getting generous and let's say, like, hey, listen, I pay 30% referrals to every referral that comes my way. And I'm probably putting that in every email. Hey, we pay 30% referral fees. You want to go 35%, go 35%, rock and roll. Because here's the deal: you're putting it out there, you're going to win. What does it look like to actually send a thank you gift? Guys, we've actually seen those come into the brokerage where agents have referred one another. And typically it's in like that luxury market just because that's what their training looks like when they're in that ecosystem. And you send a referral and someone closes the referral for you and they send you and they send you the 30% referral fee. What would it look like for you to actually send them back a gift? Hey, here's just a thank you gift, guys, and check this out. You also can put that on social media. What does it look like? You don't have to do it in a tacky way. You can just say, hey, just boxing up my gift to my referral partner that we just closed a deal together, and fire it over. Do we do a referral fee and a gift? Well, I say it's a reciprocal thing. So what I'm saying it looks like is this. What if someone sent you a referral, right? So someone sends you a referral and then you're paying them 30%. I'm saying the 30% agent would actually send you a gift. So if you're going through and maybe you send somebody a referral and they close it and they send you 30%, I'm probably also sending them a gift back, right? So like you could do both depending on what it is. I'm not saying it has to be extravagant, but you're just trying to surprise and delight, right? All we're trying to do is take massive, massive mind share. And as we're going through and we're figuring the stuff out, and you have an agent that's doing big business and they have an ecosystem. Because here's also the thing, go on to our Facebook group and look at all the times where someone says, does anybody have a refer agent in this area? And it's like, well, what's interesting about that is that that's probably their agent that they refer business back and forth. And so why would you go out and curate your own relationship? But we know that's very real in a lot of different brokerages. So if someone's doing deals with you in Denver and you in Denver, and then someone in their brokerage that says like, who's the top agent that I should be going to? And they mention you because you're doing just some cool stuff for them. You're putting them on the email list and they're getting here's some tactics, here's some things happening in our area. Don't forget about me. Plus I pay 30%. Here's your gift, right? Like, here's the thing, guys, like you don't lose from this. And you're showing that like, hey, I value our partnership. I value everything about it, right? So again, like we're sharing ideas, resources, we're giving recognition, gratitude. We're creating this system. Super simple. I'm going to update you through the process. I'm going to CC you on some emails that make sense. Maybe it's the milestone email. Congratulations, we passed inspection. CC their agent from that other state that referred you so they know about it. Like, guys, here it is. Like, we're going to build this thing. This isn't overnight, right? This is going to be a system. The 30% referral fee is on the sales price. Yeah, it's on the sales price. Well, it's on the commission, right? So you have a sales price, you get your commission, you're paying 30% of your commission. But yes, it would be based off the sales price, but it's commission. So let's say that it's a $600,000 home and you're charging a 3% commission. That's an $18,000 check. And let's say you were paying 25% because I can't do math on 30. And what that would look like is a $4,500 referral fee that you would be sending back on 25%. Kind of how that would work. And here's some that I get, guys. Like I get this. Here's one, right, where we say, like, do we got to send this to a different state? Here's one from Colorado Springs and Pueblo that I get. Hi, Charles. Quick reminder. I pay 30%. As soon as I close, I'm going to kick you 30%. This dude in Texas, same thing. Hi, Charles. Hey, if you know anyone that's looking to move into the area, I pay 30%. And look, he's showing like, well, I don't know if he's showing that or not. He does have his logo on there. But what, right? He's doing this. I'm thinking about Texas. I obviously know it's Texas. We're going through. He says Dallas, Fort Worth, but I did think about Texas the whole way because I see it. He says, feel free to send them my way. And just for you sending them to me, I'm going to pay you 30% once we close. You're saying put them on an email list, or are you saying just milestones or some kind of, I do well, obviously we're going to do the drip campaign, right? To where like every month they're getting some kind of email from us, especially reminding them of all this stuff and maybe some cool things that are happening in the area, some social media posts that we did that maybe went viral. Hey, I did this in my area and I got X amount of views. Check this out. You might want to rip it off and duplicate. But no, I'm also probably sending milestones so they know that I'm taking care of their client, right? Like, hey, client, congratulations on closing on or getting through the inspection process. I might CC them, Or I might just have an update for that agent. Hey, just wanted to let you know, our client that you referred me, we're under contract on this house. Thank you again. I'll keep you updated through the process. Hey, we just got through major milestone of the inspection process. I appreciate it again. Thank you for referring me. Hey, we just got through our last contingency period. Everything's looking smooth. We should be closing by this date. Hey, we just closed and we get paid at the closing table. I'm going to make sure that my brokerage cuts you that check on this day. Right? Like, here's the deal. I'm like, they appreciate that. I want you guys to think anytime you've ever made a referral and like that person has never like reached back out to you to let you know how everything was going, you get anxious. They might be a good person, right? Like they might be, you know, that they're going to execute, but then you're just like, what happened to that thing I sent their way? And so what can we do just to make this thing smooth and to the where they know they can trust us the whole way through? Can we use this with our vendor partners too? One of my insurance vendors said they will pay me a referral fee. Is that okay? Well, the two that aren't okay is going to be mortgage and title insurance. You cannot, that would be a RESPA violation. That would be unearned income, and that's against the law. Firstly, neither one of them is ever going to ask you to do it either because they make way too much money to send this to you, unless you have a JV and you have some ownership in the company. Now, the insurance company, to my knowledge, that's legal. You just have to give the disclosure up front that it's an ABA, it's an affiliated business arrangement to where you're referring them because you're going to get paid for referring them. Perfectly legal is just one extra step. So before you even make that introduction, you actually have to hand it over and say, and also there's no obligation for you to use this person. You can use whomever you want. I would just say it's just harder. I think it gets easier like if you're in the process and like someone needs a roofer. And then if you wanted to accept money from the roofer, you would make sure like your client says, hey, I need a roofer. Well, hey, I have this relationship with this person, ABA, hand them the ABA, and then collect the paycheck. But your client has to give you permission to take it. Again, title insurance, no. Lender, no. Both of those are against the law. And so, guys, like this is the deal. Like as we're going through, this is what you want. I can tell you that I look at top agents game plans and like this is what they're trying to do, like this is what they're focusing on. I mean, there's agents like when you if you guys were to go to lab coat agents referrals, we look at these things where these guys have actually created these like circuses, and I'm not saying go down this path where they're just going through and they're just blindly plugging people, and they even have buy-in groups that you can actually go pay a monthly fee, and anyone in that area when they see that this area gets mentioned, that everyone says, oh, you have to reach out to Charles, you have to reach out. They've never done business with me. I don't recommend that. I think it's gross. I think it's tacky, but everyone understands that you just want people knowing that you're the go-to and plugging you. That is like the easiest business that we can get is someone saying, you need to talk to my agent out there. That's what we want. Those are the ones that you can close so much simpler. When we think about like whatever your closing rate is, if it's 50%, if it's 30%, if you're only working with sphere of influence, it's probably 100%. But if you're working with the general public, the referral is a way bigger closing rate than anything else. And so this would be my challenge to you guys, right? Like as you're going through, because a lot of this is pipeline driven, pick 1 to 2 of these and just play with it, right? Maybe you're like, I'm going to go in and I'm going to hit one area in Arizona and just build this up. Or maybe I'm going to do a social media post. Just pick one of these things and just put it out there and just get a feel for it, right? What would it look like to where we got one of these things happening, right? Again, what would it look like? Top 10 people, your A plus clients, your A or your B, depending on how new you are. And you're just like, hey, wanted to reach out, see if you wanted to go check out this new spot in Arvada that just opened up, this beer garden. Send it out to 10 people. A handful show up, that's cool, right? That's a bigger conversation that you get to have. Guys, go out there, let's just go build this machine one relationship at a time. Like I promise you, your businesses are going to look so much different this time next year.